Man has nighttime sighting of creature walking across his property. Year 2018 season, summer month, March date. It's still going on. State, Indiana County, Martin County. Location details. We live around caves and we are wondering if they may be living in the caves behind us. We've heard it every night for the past several months. Last night I heard toys moving and somewhere in our creek this morning. It's become very scary out here in the country. Nearest town, Luguti. Nearest road, US 50. Observed. The past several months we have had some very strange activity going on around our house. We live out in the country and we've ignored a lot of it. But here lately we can't ignore the activity going on. About a month or two ago my husband went outside to smoke. He heard something, and as he looked in our driveway he seen an animal that stood about 7 feet tall, all hairy. He couldn't explain it except that it looked like one of our dogs on 2 feet and extremely tall. It walked past our trailer and that's how he could guess the height could be. We've heard what sound like a baseball bat hitting a tree. We've heard whistles and calls of what a Bigfoot sounds like. We've had chickens and cats go missing. Every night about the same time you can hear footsteps and sounds. It's to the point where we are scared to go outside. We've never believed in Bigfoot till we seen it and have heard them. I'm sure there are more than one around here cause we live near caves. They sound like they are all around us at night. Also noticed, we had a ball in our yard, and after finding it in the woods one day and down the road from us another day and bring it back several times, it went missing and we've not been able to find it. I just find it odd that this has just happened after we have been hearing noises that sound like Bigfoot. Other witnesses. My husband and I were both outside before he went to work. He was smoking a cigarette before work and I had my dad come out and listen and kinda look around. But by the time my dad came out it had ran off. Other stories. No, we have not. Everyone thinks we are crazy. Time and conditions. It starts around 9:30 p.m. and it goes on for hours after. And it's very dark. Environment. We live in a rocky area and we have several trees around us too. We have creeks and waterfalls. It's part of the state forest property. Follow-up investigation report by BFRO investigator Chuck Shutters. I have spoken to the witness at length and found him to be credible and sincere in what he observed. When he described what he saw as looking like one of his dogs on 2 feet, he was referring strictly to the length and color of the creature's hair and not physical features. He described the creature as 7 to 7.5 feet tall, covered with dark brown hair that was about 3 inches in length and very muscular. He observed the creature walk down the driveway and continue behind his trailer where he lost sight of it. The witness observed a profile view of the creature walking left to right at a distance of 75 to 100 feet. The sighting lasted less than 10 seconds and the witness was able to provide the additional details. He stated the creature had a flat human-like face with no noticeable snout. He also stated the creature had long swinging arms and walked just like a man. I have had the privilege of visiting the property on several different occasions and have gotten a chance to spend quite a bit of time with the family. Despite the creature's bold and sometimes harassing behavior, they have been very open and forthright about the ongoing activity and have welcomed on-site investigations.
Occurred, the 29th of March 2005, 19 hours 28 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Salisbury, IN, USA. Shape, sphere. Duration, 10 minutes. Know of observers. 3 characteristics. Aura or haze around object. Changed color. Spherical object not far from Crane Naval Base. Drops from the sky. 2 sons of mine pointed out in the western sky, at sunset on March 30th 05 * at 7:20 p.m. A dim pinkish spherical object floating along with the wind coming out of the southwest. It seemed to drift with the clouds. After 10 minutes the object dropped straight down with a bright magnesium white glow. We are not that far from Crane Naval Base. I question if it is not related to that. Who knows, just thought I would report it. I and one of my sons saw the thing drop, and I have to tell you, it was cool. The information box would not allow me to enter the correct date.
Occurred the 15th of September 2007, 20 hours 15 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Luguti, IN, USA. Shape: fireball. Duration: 5 minutes. No of observers. 2 characteristics: aura or haze around object. Emitted beams: orange fireball in western sky at approximately 8:15 p.m. on September 15, 2007, southwest Indiana. My daughter and I saw a large orange fireball low in the western sky. Seemed to be near a cell tower, and the ball was so bright that you could not see the tower light until the ball was gone. Stayed in one spot for several seconds, then slowly faded until gone. A few minutes later it reappeared, much lower and to the east. Looked almost like it had changed shape. Again, the ball faded until gone. But, before it disappeared, there was a bright flash of light over the cornfield, much like someone had taken a flash photo. We have a video, but of course, it's not very good.
Occurred the 19th of March 2009, 21 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Luguti, IN, USA. Shape: formation. Duration: 5 seconds. No of observers. 2 characteristics: lights on object V-shaped, fast-moving formation of dimly lit triangles. My wife and I were sitting in the hot tub at the time. We were not drinking or under the influence of anything. The hot tub was shut off, no music playing. Just before getting out, I was looking at the southwest corner of the sky and it was completely dark. The stars were very visible to the south. At that time I noticed an objects traveling northwest. My first impression was a gaggle of geese. I directed my wife's attention to the UFO and she asked if they were geese. It was moving way too fast to be any kind of birds. It all went by very quickly, but the best way I can describe this object is that it looked like a V formation, with very dimly lit triangles in a very light orange or yellow luminescence. Maybe a total of 8 to 10 triangles forming a large V. It moved very quickly and there was no noise whatsoever. In a very short time it faded out of sight. My last thought was maybe it was a military stealth bomber, the Flying Wing? I don't know, but it was enough for me to submit this sighting.
Occurred the 27th of September 2009, 1 hour 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Shoals, IN, USA. Shape: triangle. Duration: no of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object UFO in Shoals Inn. I was driving home from a friend's at about 1:30 in the morning when I saw a flashing light. I thought it was my cell phone or something in my car, but checked, and it wasn't. I looked out the driver's side window and saw a triangular-shaped image with lots of lights and the middle lights were flashing. I couldn't look at it good enough because I was swerving all over the road, so I stopped in the middle of the road and looked again. The lights were really bright. All I could really see was the shape the lights were in. The actual craft was hidden. I then just drove off real fast. I was so scared. It was very close to me, just above the trees. I have never seen anything like that in my entire life.
Occurred the 4th of July 2012, 22 hours 19 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: Mount Pleasant, IN, USA. Shape: light. Duration: 30 seconds. 1 minute. No of observers. 1 characteristics: aura or haze around object. 4 glowing objects hovering then disappearing. My husband and I were driving down the road, headed southwest, when we looked out the passenger side window and saw 4 glowing objects. They were orange and hovered for a few seconds. As I continued to watch the far top left one, it started to flicker, then it just shot off into the sky. The 2 bottom ones started to flicker after the first one left, but they didn't take off, they joined together and just disappeared. By that time I had looked to find the 4th, but it had already vanished. I had then asked my husband if he just saw what I had, and by the look on his face I knew he had. If I had to tell how far out they were, I would have to say less than 100 yards.